Hello and welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Ellen, your host, and today we will be looking at 100 questions about music from the 1960s. So let's test your knowledge on music. Let's begin question 1. What was the 1960s era also known as? The Me Decade, the Cultural Decade, or the Love Decade? The Cultural Decade. Who sang the 1965 song California Dreamin'? The Zombies, Sly and the Family Stone, or the Mamas and the Papas? The Mamas and the Papas. Which of these pioneering 60s singers was known as the Prince of Motown? James Brown, Marvin Gaye, or Otis Redding? Marvin Gaye. Jim Morrison was the lead singer of which rock band? The Doors, the Kinks, or the Velvet Underground? The Doors. Who played Mr. Rogers in the TV show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Chuck Rogers, Fred Rogers, or David Rogers? Fred Rogers. Angel, Angel, Down We Go was a 1969 movie also known by what other name? The Cult of the Damned, The Glory Stompers, or The Love Inn? The Cult of the Damned. Which of these 60s singers was known as the Queen of Soul? Janis Joplin, Aretha Franklin, or Patsy Cline? Aretha Franklin. Finish the 1968 Jimi Hendrix song titled All Along the Runway, Oscillations, or Watchtower? Watchtower. Who played banker Robert Hobbs in the 1962 comedy movie Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation? Cary Grant, James Stewart, or Gregory Peck? James Stewart. Who sang the 1969 song Son of a Preacher Man? Dusty Springfield, Gal Costa, or Brenda Lee? Dusty Springfield. True or false? Elvis Presley got married in a hotel in Las Vegas. This is true. Iggy Pop was the lead singer of which band? Radio Birdmen, Black Flag, or the Stooges? The Stooges. Which band had a hit 1967 song titled I'm a Believer? The Beach Boys, the Monkees, or the Ramones? The Monkees. Crazy, I Fall to Pieces, and Walkin' After Midnight are songs by which singer? Barbra Streisand, Nina Simone, or Patsy Cline? Patsy Cline. Darren and Samantha Stevens were husband and wife in which 60s TV show? Bewitched, Get Smart, or Green Acres? Bewitched. Which singer was shot by a hotel manager in 1964? Nat King Cole, Smokey Hogg, or Sam Cooke? Sam Cooke. 60s singer Cilla Black was born in which UK city? Manchester, Liverpool, or Dagenham? Liverpool. Who played the lead female role in the 1961 movie Breakfast at Tiffany's? Audrey Hepburn, Ava Gardner, or Elizabeth Taylor? Audrey Hepburn. Who sang the 1966 song I Fought the Law? The Silver Apples, the Isley Brothers, or the Bobby Fuller Four? The Bobby Fuller Four. How old was Jimi Hendrix when he died? 25, 27, or 32? 27. Singer Neil Young began his career with which band? Jefferson Airplane, the Yardbirds, or Buffalo Springfield? Buffalo Springfield. Sugar Sugar was a hit 1969 song by which group? The Archies, The Temptations, or The Fifth Dimension? The Archies. Which 1960s TV show boldly went where no one had gone before? The Time Tunnel, Star Trek, or Lost in Space? Star Trek. The Hollywood Vampires is a band formed in 2012 featuring which 60s rock singer? Paul Stanley, Van Morrison, or Alice Cooper? Alice Cooper. Joni Mitchell is a popular 60s singer from which country? The United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom? Canada. True or false, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, and Janis Joplin all died at 27. This is true. Which 60s singer is sometimes referred to as the bad girl of rock and roll? Connie Francis, Ronnie Spector, or Grace Slick? Ronnie Spector. Brown Eyed Girl was a hit 1967 song by which musician? Van Morrison, Bob Dylan, or Donovan? Van Morrison. Who sang the 1964 song House of the Rising Sun? The Rolling Stones, The Animals, or The Doors? The Animals. Finish the Elvis song title. Can't Help Falling in Love, Head Over Heels, or For You. In Love. Mrs. Robinson was a hit 1968 song by which group? The Kinks, the Beatles, or Simon and Garfunkel? Simon and Garfunkel. Stuart Sutcliffe, the original bass guitarist of the Beatles, died in what year? 1962, 1964, or 1966? 1962. I Want You Back was the first national single released by what group in 1969? The Four Tops, the Jackson 5, or Van Halen? The Jackson 5. Finish the 1965 movie title. The Flight of the Eagle, Albatross, or Phoenix? Phoenix. Which popular 60s singer was known as the Goddess of Pop? Cher, Diana Ross, or Cass Elliot? Cher. Green Onions was a hit 1962 song by which group? Herman's Hermits, Booker T and the MGs, or the Dave Clark 5? Booker T and the MGs. Farouk Balsara was the birth name of which pop singer? Axl Rose, Alice Cooper, or Freddie Mercury? Freddie Mercury. Which singer won the Oscar for Best Actress in 1960 for the movie Pillow Talk? Doris Day, Barbra Streisand, or Dolly Parton? Doris Day. Which of these musicians was known by their contemporaries as the Geniuses? Bob Dylan, Ray Charles, or Jimi Hendrix? Ray Charles. Question 40. In what year did the Supremes' debut album, Meet the Supremes, come out? 1960, 1962, or 1964? 1962. Which of these bands has the most #1 hit songs? The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, or the Beatles? The Beatles. True or false? Creedence Clearwater Revival broke up in the late 60s after 4 years of chart-topping success. This is false. What is the relationship of Simon and Garfunkel? Friends, family, or lovers? Friends. Who sang the hit 60s song The Twist? Jackie Wilson, Bobby Lewis, or Chubby Checker? Chubby Checker. Who starred alongside Paul Newman in the 1969 movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Steve McQueen, Robert Redford, or the Prince of Egypt? Robert Redford. What was the name of Elvis Presley's mansion? Kingland, Rockland, or Graceland? Graceland. Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, and George Michael were all born in which year? 1963, 1966, or 1968? 1963. Here Comes the Sun was a hit 1969 song by who? Simon and Garfunkel, the Beatles, or the Four Seasons? The Beatles. Finish the TV show title. The Man from Nowhere, Space, or Uncle? Uncle. Which singer was known as the hardest working man in showbiz? James Brown, Little Richard, or Smokey Robinson? James Brown. The 60s cult rock band Marmalade was from which country? Sweden, Scotland, or South Africa? Scotland. Finish the 1968 Cilla Black song title. You're My Everything, You're My Honey, or You're My World? You're My World. Money, That's What I Want was a hit 60s song by which singer? Barrett Strong, Anthony Newley, or Dion DiMucci? Barrett Strong. Hit the Road Jack was a hit 1960s song by which musician? Benny King, Stevie Wonder, or Ray Charles? Ray Charles. The Thunderbirds were a popular music group from the 1960s. True or false? This is false. How many members were there in the band The Monkees? 3, 4, or 5? 4. Who sang the song It's Your Thing? The Isley Brothers, The Impressions, or Gil Scott-Heron? The Isley Brothers. The Ballad of Jim Clampett is the theme song for which 60s TV show? Dragnet, Green Acres, or the Beverly Hillbillies? The Beverly Hillbillies. It Takes Two was a hit 1966 song by who? Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye, or Al Green? Marvin Gaye. Which of these bands had two identical twins in it? The Whispers, the Temptations, or the Pretenders? The Whispers. Born to Be Wild was a popular 1968 rock song by who? Neil Young, Steppenwolf, or the Zombies? Steppenwolf. Finish the band name. Paul Revere and the Raiders, Hollies, or Shondells? Raiders. Who sang the hit 1965 song My Girl? The Coasters, the Drifters, or the Temptations? The Temptations. What job did Perry Mason have in the TV of the same name, the TV show of the same name? Detective, lawyer, or gambler? Lawyer. The Shangri-Las were a 60s band consisting of members of which gender? All female, all male, or mixed? All female. Finish the name of the group. Martha and the Cream, Vandellas, or Family Stone? Vandellas. From which country was popular 60s singer Donovan from? Scotland, Australia, or Ireland? Scotland. Complete the Rolling Stones song title. Sympathy for the Night, Devil, or Heartbroken? Devil. What did rock and roll singer Elvis Presley die from? A drug overdose, a stroke, or a heart attack? A heart attack. We are at question 70. Finish this 1967 TV show title. Man in a Hurry, Suitcase, or Jam? Suitcase. What is singer Van Morrison's first name? Clive, Robert, or George? George. Can't Take My Eyes Off You was a hit 1967 song from which group? The Four Seasons, the Everly Brothers, or the Turtles? The Four Seasons. Twist and Shout was a hit 1963 song by which group? The Yardbirds, Jefferson Airplane, or the Beatles? The Beatles. The Rolling Stones are from which UK city? Manchester, London, or Brighton? London. What is singer Cliff Richard's real first name? Harry, Ben, or Alex? Harry. What was the name of Jimi Hendrix's final album before he died? Are You Experienced, Electric Ladyland, or Band of Gypsies? Band of Gypsies. The music festival Woodstock took place in which year? 1966, 1967, or 1969? 1969. What band has lips and a tongue as its band logo? Kiss, the Rolling Stones, or The Who? The Rolling Stones. What was the name of the band Elvis performed with until 1968? The Million Dollar Quartet, the Jailhouse Rockers, or the Blue Moon Boys? The Blue Moon Boys. Daydream and Summer in the City were hit 60s songs by which group? The Kinks, the Lovin' Spoonful, or the Beach Boys? The Lovin' Spoonful. Which of these actresses died in a car crash in 1967 at the age of 34? Jane Mansfield, Judy Garland, or Margaret Sullivan? Jane Mansfield. Who joined the Beatles in 1962? George Harrison, Paul McCartney, or Ringo Starr? Ringo Starr. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway played the lead roles in which 1967 movie? The Sound of Music, Bonnie and Clyde, or Lolita? Bonnie and Clyde. Who sang the 1962 song Stand By Me? Benny King, Alton Ellis, or Roy Orbison? Benny King. Frank Zappa was the lead singer of which band? Creedence Clearwater, The Grateful Dead, or the Mothers of Invention? The Mothers of Invention. What was the name of Tina Turner's husband who was also a singer? Bobby, Ike, or Irwin? Ike. The Boogaloo, Hully Gully, and Watusi were all what in the 60s? Music genres, instruments, or dances? Dances. A Spoonful of Sugar is a song from which popular 1960s movie? Mary Poppins, My Fair Lady, or The Sound of Music? Mary Poppins. Who sang the song Black is the Color of My True Love's Hair? Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone, or Mary Wells? Nina Simone. Ground Control to Major Tom is a line from which 1969 song? Space Oddity, Rocket Man, or Across the Universe? Space Oddity. Jane Birkin and Serge Gainsbourg were popular 60s singers from which country? Canada, the UK, or France? France. In what year did the band Pink Floyd form? 1963, 1965, or 1967? 1965. In what prison did Johnny Cash record his 1969 live album? Sing Sing, Rikers Island, or San Quentin? San Quentin. Which of the following joined the band Fleetwood Mac? The latest. Christine McVie, Lindsey Buckingham, or Danny Kerwin? Lindsey Buckingham. The rock band Shocking Blue were from which country? Austria, the Netherlands, or Greece? The Netherlands. Ball of Fire was a hit 60s song by who? Tommy James, Gary Puckett, or Willie Alberti? Or Alberti? Tommy James. Who sang the iconic 1969 song Sweet Caroline? Fred Zambon, Jimmy Holiday, or Neil Diamond? Neil Diamond. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head was a song written for which 60s movie? Butch Cassidy, Cool Hand Luke, or Midnight Cowboy? Butch Cassidy. True or false? Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, and Mary J. Blige were all born in 1969. This is false. And question 100. King of the Road is a beloved 1965 song by which singer? John Prine, Roger Miller, or Georgie Fame? Roger Miller. Thanks everybody for playing this quiz. Drop your score in the comments. We'd love to see it. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.